Hi, it's Sharon. Today we're watching Loki, Season 2, Episode 4, Heart of the TVA. Very excited for this episode. We are now like halfway through and I've got no idea where this series is going at this point, but I'm loving the ride. Reminder that you can find the unedited version of this reaction on my Patreon, and let's go.
I will be proud to lead with you.
He doesn't do partnerships.
I'll catch up.
That's suspicious. Don't trust men when they say that.
Erase her memories.
Yep.
You sure?
And then just kept looking out the window.
I'm sorry.
Sure you are. Hi, I feel like he didn't have to dig too deep to be shit to women. It's on screen and off screen.
I continue to do all the work to keep him there?
Yep.
Well, something like that. That we don't need him. Maybe we never did.
I mean, Miss Minutes is so gonna betray you first chance he gets, but then I also feel like Ravonna would also betray her if she could.
Imagine what Renslayer and Miss Minutes have been saying about us, but it's not true. Unless I said something good. Here's the deal. You have to trust me.
You all want me. Ms. Ravonna wants me. The effervescent clock lady monster thing wants me.
It is a monster thing, yes. Honestly, at this point, I feel like we almost just need to grab him, force him to get to where we need him to go, then explain.
That's your loom.
I'm worried that he's going to come face to face with it and become like a super villain.
Is that what we do now?
I don't know, but someone told me that the TVA has to change, and it has to change now, and she wants to protect it at all costs. That was her mission, and it can be again. If you can convince her that this new version...
But could we ever trust that she wouldn't go genocidal again?
I built all of this. Or I did. Well, or I will... And I did?
Almost. You, but not you.
Even Sylvie's like, come on, I'm on board now, just stop ruining my life.
I don't understand.
He's going to be excited because he knows him from he's in the back of the book.
Ouroboros.
The man from the book.
Yeah, that's me.
So, if your work is based on his work and his work is based on your work,
Exactly which came first.
Uh-huh.
It's like eating its own tail.
Mr. Ouroboros, would you...
He really is an Ouroboros.
Embarrassed that Victor is here to see it.
Okay, I think you're being a little hard on yourself. Phobia looks great.
all right.
He's like, thank you, I wanted someone to say that.
It was created when someone killed He Who Remains and released all those branches.
See, you can't just do it and then not deal with the consequences.
What's the...
It would take a long time.
Yeah, long time.
Mr. Ouroboros, if anyone can...
I still don't trust him just because I know who he's going to become. Or capable of becoming, I suppose. Not guarantee with this one.
Okay.
No, I think we should watch Victor at all times.
Everything is turning to shit. And you want to leave it to them while we go and have some pie.
I mean, you were the one who was in McDonald's a few minutes ago.
No, I won't wait. Come on. You found out you're a variant. And you haven't even looked, have you?
It's more
It's just
than,
another
it's
bad
not,
day at the office for you.
it's not a simple emotional process to go through. And sometimes in horrible situations, you need to savor something small and good.
I think we all earned our lives.
They all deserve to get their lives back. As long as we make sure they're safe to
Don't you
live.
think you earned your life?
No!
And also, you don't have to earn your own life. It's yours.
You have no authority to keep us here.
You had no authority to commit genocide.
How can I trust you?
How can we trust you, genocidal bitch?
We may not see eye to eye on most
This is
things,
a room full of genocidal bitches.
but I care about this place.
I thought it was weakness. I mocked him. Said he'd gone soft.
Soft girl she killed.
Listen, Sylvie, you spared Timely's life, and
I love that somewhat edited version of events, but Loki didn't, you know, like, do some other shit.
Those timelines.
You're putting a lot of faith in those three back there.
We have no other choice.
Don't forget Docs.
That's because of Mobius, and B-15, and those guys back there, OB and Casey.
What if you're
We-
wrong?
We do need to prune the rest of the TVA, and I don't mean that in the sense that they mean it of like wiping them out of existence. I mean like kick them out of the TVA, back to their real lives or to a different timeline to set up a new life or whatever. Like, I don't mean prune them as in like I could just wipe them from existence. I don't necessarily agree with trusting them. Maybe some of the lower down people who were just following orders can learn. But like Docs, I wouldn't trust her as far as I could throw her, and I could not throw her at all.
It would just be easier to burn this place down and start from scratch.
Sure,
Doesn't
burn it down
mean it's
easy.
right.
Annihilating is easy. Raising things to the ground is
Loki has really come a long
trying
way.
to fix what's broken.
The key thing with any kind of institution like this is to actually work to change it and fix it. And not just say, no, it's great, it's fine, we do good stuff, so we're not going to fix anything.
To do better than he who remains.
This is so interesting.
Whatever we do, we're playing God.
We are gods.
We are gods.
I knew that's what I was going to say. I mean, in a way, what the TVA would have to do, its task in a way would have to be to let the timelines happen naturally. And to, I mean, I guess I say to only interfere when something's going to threaten the safety of that timeline, but that's what they thought they were doing by pruning the away from the sacred timeline. But you know, if someone was about to go and launch a time war, intervene and stop them, but otherwise let people within the timelines deal with the problems that are happening.
So
Oh god, Renslayer? Yeah. Honestly, dragging her with us would have been better.
Setting in place her plan. The only thing you want to protect is yourself, Ravona.
Mm-hmm.
Place is hours away from becoming a crater in the cosmos.
Yes, but that's not because you were gone. I feel like Sylvie shouldn't have kicked her through a time door. She should have dragged her here so we could have put her in prison until we could figure out what to do with her too. Threats now, is it? This is awful. This is awful.
All of us here would rather die than follow you out that door.
You are a monster. See, that's why I don't think Sylvie should have killed her, but I also don't think sending her to the end of time with no supervision was the right idea. I guess that Sylvie and people didn't know she had missed minutes with her. You. I mean, self-survival isn't necessarily terrible, but it's what he does next. In so many ways. But really, we should have dragged Ravona here, put her in one of these cells with the collar so she couldn't slip through time or whatever reason they wear them for, and dealt with her once everything was over. Letting Renslayer go free was not a good choice, even if that freedom was supposed to be a prison. Or is he trying to stage some kind of escape coup, takeover, run free? Did he put something in it? He put something in it, right? Oh, he didn't. But this bitch is still a murdering bitch, man. No, you're not. You didn't have to kill him. You could have even knocked him out and still got what you wanted.
Listen, friend, I don't know what device you're jabbering on about.
He's actually not telling them. That's something. Something promising, maybe.
Come on!
Oh no! Her going in that lift. She comes out of that lift and goes, there you are! Yeah, this is that. Yeah.
still time.
He's gonna walk up behind himself and prune himself because he's figured out he needs to do that as well.
There you are.
I promise you this will make sense.
He just saved his life in the past.
I need to tell you.
Jesus Christ!
You'll never be him.
Well, there's your biggest advantage gone.
Fancy a rematch? This is cozy. Victor! Let's go. Now, let's go.
Whoa! Like, we could have taken a non-lethal method. Did she deserve it? Kind of. She just killed mass murdered, so I'm not gonna, like, cry over it. But we didn't need to take the lethal method there.
I know how the throughput multiplier works.
I don't trust him going out there alone. I think he's got... His device does something different. He's gonna take over. Oh no, he seemed too trustworthy this episode. He is so about to take over everything. Or at least when he gets out there, something else is going to happen.
You'll make it.
Sylvie having belief. Well, he didn't make it. He was actually nice in the end. I feel bad for doubting him.
What happened?
Can we time travel?
Where is he?
Back to earlier in the... Oh, you can't... Because Loki was time slipping in the TVA. Can we time travel back in... That could have been him. We can time travel back in TVA because Loki did it when he was time slipping. Can we time slip to before the loom was this unstable and then do it then? Holy shit. This is not good. They did everything they could. Guess who's cool Joy had COVID, so I was watching this late, so already has the next episode. It's me. I am very relieved. I'm very sorry if everyone had to wait a week. Holy shit. So I have to say, I was doubting Victor the whole way through, especially at the end there. I thought we had some ulterior motive in mind. I thought he was going to go up there, he'd put something else in the device and he was going to take over. I don't trust him, partly because I don't trust the actor and partly because I don't trust him because of the potential he has to become He Who Remains. But ultimately, I think in this episode, he kind of showed that he is a good person, and it makes me sad that he died because I spent most of it mistrusting him. You know, he didn't immediately tell them where the device was and where it was going. He didn't tell them actually at all. He was delaying by telling them, oh, here are the specs and how it works. Offering to go, knowing how dangerous it was also brave. So I like him, and you know that version of him can rest in peace, I hope. Perhaps the highlight of this episode for me was people actually working together. You know, Sylvie and Loki, yeah, they had an argument, they had words, but I think ultimately they kind of saw each other's side, and it is a situation where I get where Sylvie's coming from and I get where Loki's coming from, and I don't know who's right, and there isn't a right answer. The only thing I can think of is a version of, I mean, maybe the TVA is not going to exist given that it just got, you know, loomed, but hypothetically, a version of the TVA existing which was designed to just try and stop any future time wars or, like, you know, timeline extinctions or something would be okay in my book, because that wouldn't, but they also would have to, awful as it sounds, maybe not intervene in just, oh, that person's going to go and be really horrible. We'd have to just let them do their own thing. I don't know. And because they aren't gods, and because being God is actually very unethical. But yeah, it is extremely complicated. And where do you come down on that? Should they intervene and stop every single evil person from committing any crimes? There is an argument for that. Who knows? But right now, because we didn't know what was going to happen when this happened, all they had to do, they had to try and stop this event from happening. I love the full circle moment of Loki pruning himself and Sylvie being like, what the fuck? I have no idea where it's going next. Bradley X5, he's still going, unfortunately for everyone. He is not going to be too happy, given that he let, you know, someone he used to be very close to die. Now, admittedly, I will give him not wanting to die and saying, yes, I'll follow you to survive. I don't think it's necessarily a sign that he's evil. It's just a sign that he doesn't want to die. Then pruning somebody that he was friends with, like, I worked with a colleague, pruning a person that did not need to be pruned. That's when I'm like, okay, so you really value your life. Like, he, with the other people, he wasn't actively killing them in that room. There was nothing he could have done to stop it. At most, he could have tried to convince more of them to join him. That is basically the only power he had in that moment. But when he was holding the pruning stick, when he pruned the nice hot chocolate man, that was his own choice. Then Sylvie using him to prune Ravonna, absolutely wild. Now, part of me wonders if we're going to end up going back in time and changing things. I don't know. Like, if we stabilize the loom in the past, would that stop all of these events from happening, which would mean Ravonna was alive? Largely because I feel like Ravonna kind of died too easily. But who knows? Very stressed. And again, like, I don't love that they killed Ravonna. There were other options. There were handcuffing her. There were putting her in a little box temporarily. There are all things they could have done. But at the same time, she has killed countless people and she is only interested in her own personal power. So I am not going to sit here crying by the fact that she was killed. Very good episode. Very stressed. Can't wait to watch the next one. Reminder that you can find the unedited version of this reaction on my Patreon, and thank you so much for watching.